What's up, guys? My name is Nina from Shaboy in the Morning, right here at 92.3 Amp Radio, and I am joined by the one and only Tove Lo in the building. Hey. Welcome.
Thank you.
I was really excited to find out that you were going to come because I'm sure people tell you all the time, like, their favorite lyrics from your songs or different things that really touch them. Like my theme song, especially on the weekends, or I shouldn't say theme song, but my line is day drunk into the night because during a morning show, we leave early on Fridays. So we hit happy hour and then I just keep going. And so I just had to tell you that because I was super excited about it. Do you do that very often? Do you day drunk into the night very much?
Well, I'm like, what do I say now?
Not that I'm trying to make her sound like a lush or anything.
No, but I mean, I have done that on occasion. Yeah, I think. Well, what I'm referring to in the song is a lot of the like being in Sweden and during the summer, it's very light out for very long. So the sun's out till around midnight. It's and then it comes up again like 3 a.m. So and then it's like those hours are like fully dark like in the winter time. So it's like once it's summer, everyone's like really alive and out and about. So it's just like the party mode just goes from like here to here in Sweden in the summer. So it's like referring to those days where you just start at like you don't even know when you're starting. You just keeps going because it's never ending.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But she put a lot of deep thought into it. It was just because I'm a little bit messy on the weekends. But really, though, we're excited because we are loving your song, Cool Girl, probably one of my favorites right now. And you had really big news that you just dropped on everybody yesterday, and that is your second album is coming October 28th, called Ladywood.
Yes.
What does Ladywood mean to you?
Well, Ladywood has a lot of different meanings, but the most literal one is like it stands for me at least like a female hard-on. There isn't really like a word for that, so I think Ladywood is kind of the perfect way to say that. And but it's kind of also how when you're telling someone to be like brave or like show some courage, you say like grow some balls, or like if you're someone's being coward, you say don't be a pussy. I hope I can say that.
Well, you did.
I did. So which I think is kind of unfair. So I feel like it's just because it's kind of like so I guess it's like, yeah, it's Ladywood. It stands also for just being like kind of doing something that might scare you, but also excites you at the same time. So yeah, it takes some balls, but without saying balls because we don't have balls.
Right.
So.
Well, I like that twist on it because when I saw that, I was like, oh, she's going there. I love that. It's empowering, it's the whole woman movement right now too, anyways, But what inspired that? Like what gave you that angle? I feel like you are quick to push the limit a little bit, I guess, with exploring sexuality and being a woman and empowering and really telling your truths. So at what point were you like, this is going to be Ladywood?
I think it is on the album in one of the songs where it kind of stands for that. Like for me, I've noticed, I don't know if it's in Sweden, we're very like open about sex, and there's not a lot of censoring, and it's very like you talk about it, you learn about it at an early age, and it's not something that's very taboo, where I feel like here it's a little bit different. And that's been kind of like I think just more like like news to me, that I'm like, oh, I can't say that, I can't do that, I can't wear that, that's weird, and like, why not, what's the big harm? And I think that kind of maybe triggers me a little bit.
To just do it anyway.
Yeah, to do it anyway. And then also because I think it is really important that like it is definitely okay for a girl, just as it is for a boy, to talk and sing about sex and to be sexual. And I have like noticed, not like here in America, but just in general, that there is, I'm getting, for the last record, I got a lot of comments on like, don't you feel like you should be a better role model? And I was like, do you say that to guys who sing about the same subjects that I sing about? So, and I don't feel like it's really the same. People just expect me to be something else than what I am just because I'm a girl, and that pisses me off. So
well, and I think, and as it should, and I feel like I'm a lot like you, so I relate to it a lot, and I think that there's that whole other side of a person that should be empowered if you feel drawn to it, and you're that person, that voice out there that's saying it's okay.
Yeah,
just do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love it. I feel empowered by it.
Thank you. Good.
But while we are on the topic of Ladywood, is there anybody out there right now, maybe a celebrity crush that gets you particularly excited? Like, who's your go-to when you like think about it?
I mean, my go-to, like,
Well, you
my
know,
own
everybody,
time
like
kinda
everybody
go-to.
has a list. Yeah.
It's getting very personal here.
That's not what I mean. I would have to hang out with you a couple more hours before we went there, but
Okay.
no. But like your all-time list, you know, like who's that number one person on the top of your list?
I think it's a well, there's like moments. It's like Johnny Depp when he was with Kate Moss.
Oh, okay.
And then it's Cara Delevingne. She's just everything beautiful that I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like funny and I mean I've never met her, but she seems awesome.
You stalk her Instagram and you're like, I feel like I know you.
I think we could be friends. Yeah.
That's awesome. Back to the topic of your album. You were talking about how excited you were to share it, and then you also mentioned that you were terrified.
Yeah.
What about it scares you so much?
Always the extreme emotions. Well, just because I think I'm as equally personal on this album as I was on the first one. The difference is the first one was I had no idea that, you know, so many people were going to hear it and relate to it. Now I kind of know, and it was a challenge for me to like dare to be as vulnerable on the second one, because it kind of, yeah, it is, because no matter like how much I can, you know, like sort of hide from mean comments and try not to get affected what people think and say, it still gets to me. It still registers, and then it's kind of like stays in there somehow. And I think it is scary to be to sing about and write about the stuff that I'm not like the most proud of with myself, because it's like writing music is my outlet for everything. It's like where I like what keeps me sane. So I need to be able to do that without caring about other people's opinions. So, but then once it's done, I'm like, it's done. I was happy with it. Here it is. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm letting it go out into the world. Like, you know, so
you could judge me and how I feel about this.
And it's really, that's like an everyday kind of, I mean, everything of this is like so amazing. I'm in the middle of my dream and it's unreal. Mm-hmm. But the big challenge is to remember that and be happy about that and not care about, you know, the negative opinions about it, and really just listen to my gut, I think.
But I think what's so funny too is like with social media, you can always see there'll be probably like 20 positive comments, and then there's one that says something that's kind of hurtful, and that's the one that sticks with you, and you're like, really?
I know. You know what? My mom, who's a therapist, which is also very interesting.
That's amazing.
She told me this really cool thing about that, because apparently, I hope I'm quoting her right now, or she's going to get really pissed off with me. But so
Sorry, Mom.
You know, when you're in positive energy and like you, everything's fine, everyone's nice, you know, your body relaxes. If someone's, you know, and someone screams, or, you know, there's a loud noise, or if someone is like angry with you, or like, you know, comes at you quickly, your body registers that as a threat. So, and it's the same if you read a mean comment, it jumps out as a threat to you. Your body like reacts to it, because that's something you need to be aware of and stay away from. So that's why they stick with you instead of all the positive ones. So it's like almost like, so even if, you know, and that's what's so weird with like the online, because there isn't really a threat. It's just words, you know, in front of you, but still it kind of jumps at you like a threat.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, actually. And then it kind of makes you feel a little bit more normal for being so bothered by like that one negative comment. So then having your mother as a therapist, what does she say is the best thing for you to do to like keep yourself calm, like to come on the other end of that?
Well, I don't know if she's the best therapist with me. Well, she's very sweet, and can get like really, really upset about some comments, and she'll call me sometimes, and she's found some guy on Twitter who's written something bad. She's like, you need to remove him. And I'm like, I can't remove him from Twitter. He's his own person. She's like, no, just take him away. I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do. And she's like, well, he's writing all this stuff. I'm like, you just can't read it. Don't care. She's like, how can I not care? He's talking about my baby, you know. So she's with me, she's a mom, but obviously she's very good at just like, kind of, she can tell when something's wrong with me right away. But I can tell also right away when she goes into that role, kind of like, so how are you feeling right now?
Yeah.
And, you know, when I was a teenager, I was just like, Mom, shut up, you know. But now I appreciate that, because it makes me like, I can voice my emotions way better, I think, than maybe a lot of people can, because she was always like, she could always just take it and kind of just not react no matter what I said, which I think is a very strong, to just be like, okay, whatever you're feeling is okay. I don't have to react to it. So I think she's just like, make sure that you have a safe space to do that, to really like let out what you're actually feeling, and don't try to like keep some sort of like, don't try to be perfect. There's no no one needs you to be perfect.
No, of course not. I mean, and just hearing you talk like this about your mom and having her, you know, be around that way, even probably since you were little, you know, she was encouraging you to express yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think that helped with your writing then? Because it opened up this whole new world for you to express yourself. Because you're storytelling.
Yeah. And I think it's sometimes I always, when I finish a song and someone asks me like, what is it about? And I'm like, I need to just, how do I phrase this? Because it's about like one sentence can be about, you know, 5 different like instance in my life that comes down to this one moment that I'm like, okay, this is what I'm writing about, but it's coming from all these other angles always. So it's usually when I do these like little video segments, I'm like, oh, my song's about this. And if I do that like too early on, it's like an hour and a half about each song. I'm just like, but then also that word also means there's a little layer into that. But she's, yeah, I think it helped me to find like, she probably did like really help me find like, an outlet where it was okay to be like fully honest about whatever I was feeling, not be ashamed of it, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps a lot, especially with your writing and songs like Cool Girls and the perspective that you're bringing to the table. And we discussed this a little bit earlier about the whole empowerment thing and the part about Cool Girls. And before you like really dissect and you like listen to it, it's summertime and you're like, yeah, I don't need a label. Yeah, I'm just gonna have my roster over here, this guy, and do whatever I want. You know, yeah, you got to build a roster for the summer. You know, you have to just keep them there in case you need a different one. Girls can do it too, and we do, right?
Oh yeah, I'm with you for sure.
But there's that other side too, when like we really do want love and like we really whatever, and when we try to keep it cool, even though you're freaking out because he didn't text you or she didn't call back or whatever. Are you really that chill though? Like in relationships, do you find yourself playing the cool role?
No, well the thing is, I think that's what I'm like in. So it's like you're saying, there's like a lot of layers to the song, and I think that it's just like almost like a little bit of like a frustrated, I'm being like very sarcastic in the song because it's like, obviously, yes, I'll play this game with you because we've all done it 100 times. We both hate it. We just want something that's real, but we're still kind of
doing it
in the middle of this. And like, but I think no matter what you have, if it's, you know, whether it's just something, you know, casual that you know is not going to move on, or if it's just a fling, or if it is something like deeper, more real, you just want it to be, if you're just both honest about how you're feeling, you don't have to really label it, you know, you can just kind of let it kind of flow and let it be, you know, but we just have this, it's always that scare of being the one who feels more. It's like, why is it always so terrifying to be vulnerable? Why is it seen as like, you're the weaker one if you're the one who's more in love in a way? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's always like, if you're colder, you have more control. Like you'll wait to text back for a few hours just to make them feel more insecure so that you like gain some power. And it's kind of weird, like, and that was just like, I'm like, why is it like this? I don't know, like what? But so I think that's and that goes for like everything, not just like, it's like you're always supposed to be, if you let your emotions get like a hold of you, that's a bad thing. And I don't really agree with that because I think it should be the other way around.
Right, you need to feel it that way, you know how to take control of it and learn from it. But was there one relationship that you think kind of that gave you this perspective? You know what I mean? Because there was one breakup that I had like forever ago. Like heartbreak is totally what changed me to the idea of building a roster and empowering myself in a way that I never had before. Was there one relationship that was that turning point for you to give you this perspective? Or did you kind of always just have it?
No, I definitely did not have all the answers all my life. I still don't. But I think, well, that's the thing. I think I can see it from like a clearer point of view now, like what went wrong in the past, or like in this relationship this happened, but it still kind of just comes down to like, we make it very complicated for ourselves. And I think that for me doing this, it's probably not very easy to be with someone who is like very consumed by like something else, you know, like music is very like super close to me, and it's my like passion, and it means everything to me. And I think no matter how much I love a person, it's you know, it's hard to be around that, you kind of, because it's always kind of, I'm always a little bit somewhere else, I think.
Yeah, and you need somebody that can put up with that.
I do, but then I'm like, is that fair to ask? So I don't know.
I guess you just go with it until the answer presents itself.
I'm like figuring this out as I go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we all.
I'm just like I'm not scared of it. Like I feel like, I think just like meeting someone and like daring to just like fall into it is something amazing. But I'm kind of realizing like love is not the storm, it's the calm, you know. And I think I've always thought the other way around. before. So it's like the calm after that whole build up of craziness. If you're still last, you know, that's when you have it, I think.
Like it's real love when it gets to the calm.
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't experienced that yet.
Well, same. That's why we're sitting here right now.
Thank you for being so open, and thank you for sharing. We are on Facebook Live right now, and some of our viewers, your fans, have some questions too that they wanted to ask. Kristen, what you got down there? What can you tell us about the Cool Girl music video? Felipe, thank you.
It is a real performance video where I'm doing some full like actual dancing for the first time, which was a lot of fun and very challenging for me. I love like moving, you know, dancing like freestyling, but doing choreography is it's a big challenge. It's set in this really beautiful, cool old motel, and it was choreographed by this amazing girl, Dina, who I loved working with. She was really good at like finding me how to express and like how to use my body in certain moves that I've never done before.
And now you'll have those moves forever.
And there's also really some amazing, you'll see me in a very, very different sort of hairstyle, which is, it's going to look cool. But it's part of it's actually part of a bigger whole. So I've shot this short film to the first chapter of Ladywood. So the album's divided into 2 chapters, which is
cool.
Fairy Dust and Fire Fade, and I just shot the first short film for the first chapter. So that's coming out later this year as well. But yeah,
that's exciting. Yeah. Do you think that like whole concept kind of, I shouldn't say was inspired by Beyonce, but Lemonade had that whole visual concept too, and for you to have kind of the short film concept, it's similar.
I mean, it is. I think Lemonade is absolutely amazing. I've had the idea for a while, so it wasn't.
I'm not saying you ripped off Beyonce. I'm definitely.
I don't think
not
I could ever rip off Beyonce. I don't think no one can ever rip off Beyonce.
No,
I'm
that's
trying to
true.
get away with that. No, but it's been like in the works in my mind, the same as writing the album. It's been part of like I want to make something visually very strong, and hopefully people will feel that when they see it. So
that's exciting. Do you think that people will notice your front wedgie?
Hopefully not. Yeah, I'm like. It's the best thing to mention that because everyone's going to stare at.
No, okay. I had to bring that up.
There's one shot where you probably will, and just let me know if you see it. I want to find out.
But let me explain. Like, I don't have a weird obsession with front wedgies or anything. She actually posted a little tease on her Instagram of the shooting of the video, and she's like, I'm in this outfit, and it's giving me a front wedgie. So, of course, I had to bring it up. What do you think is worse, when you have a front wedgie or a back wedgie?
Definitely front wedgie. Or like it depends kind of like how you're sitting, because it can be kind of nice if you're sitting in the right way. But if you're like
and this is why I love her. That's awesome. You got another question for us, Chris?
Yes. Santiago wants to know, what can we expect of the new record?
What can we expect of the new record, Santiago?
Yes. Hi, Santiago. You can expect still very personal lyrics, my stories from the past 2 years that have been intense and very like just basically my life turned around fully. And musically, I've kind of gone in a way of like bringing together sort of more minimal, aggressive, dark techno with my usual pop melodies and lyrics. So there'll be a bit of more like a darkness to the beats, but then also I can definitely tell like I'm challenging myself vocally a lot, because it was started recording all this after my vocal cord surgery, so I was like, my voice is back and doing all this stuff. So there's I'm definitely like singing out more on this record too, which I think is really
Does
awesome.
that feel different? Like there's like a different kind of release when you're just like letting it go.
Yes, for sure. And just I don't know, it was such an amazing feeling to get the control back of it and like just feel like it's strong again from like a year just being like waking up every morning not being able to talk pretty much.
No kidding. Like for an artist, for you to even get that like word that you have to have surgery on the most valuable part of you, like what did that feel like?
That was probably the biggest kind of like scare that I've had, I think, because it was so, that's also when I realized like, shit, this is like the one, like this is the one thing that I have that I can do, and like it's not gonna be working for a long time. Like I was like, what's gonna happen? Like what if I don't get it back? You know, that was probably the scariest thing. Like after the surgery, when you weren't allowed to talk for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you kind of start speaking, and I was like, hi, how's everybody doing? Like everyone started speaking to me differently. Like they're like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I'm not a baby. I know I sound like a baby right now, but just speak to me normally. And that was, and then, started singing again. I remember like the first few days, the first song I recorded after surgery was the feature they did with Adam Lambert, Rumors. And I remember recording that, and I was like, broke down crying, so I was like, I don't have the same power, and they like took hours, and they're like, yes you do, because I just didn't feel as secure.
Yeah.
So I hadn't done it in a long time, but then it finally worked out, and it worked out really great. But I remember it was such an emotional thing. Also, I cry easily, so I don't know, but it was just very
Me
it was
too.
a big moment. Yeah.
Super emotional. We got one more question.
Yes. Juliana Moreshi wants to know, how does knowing that you and your music life changed mine in so many ways? I'll be forever thankful for that.
Oh, that's so cool. Just
That's
for
so sweet.
everybody else, she asked, how does it feel to know that your music has changed somebody's life? What was her name again?
Juliana Moreshi.
Juliana Moreshi. You changed her life.
I know. That almost makes me cry.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is. That means a lot to me. That means everything to me. That's like, yeah, Juliana, thank you for that. That's huge to me. Yeah, it's like you don't understand it when you start writing, and then I know what music's done for me in the past. It's like and it's I've gotten a lot of such sweet letters from fans who, tell me that like, you put words to my emotions. I think that's like the one thing where I'm like, oh, that means, and if any, like, I mean, it's my outlet to deal with my life, and that helps people deal with their lives and like everything that they're going through. That means, yeah, that's everything. That's why we're connected,
Exactly, because they listen to your music and they're like, oh my gosh, me too. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Want to lighten it up a little bit, play a little game, or ask you a question. It's not really a game, but like... but it'd be fun. So let's step outside, Ladywood for a 2nd. Let's pretend you had a little side project, and it was going to be you and a girl group. Who would you put in your girl group today, and what would you call it?
Ooh.
Maybe like 4 or 5. 5, I think, is the magic number, right?
5's the magic number. I think I would probably go. Okay, I would go like a Scandinavian here because I have all my like Swedish girls.
Okay.
And I would probably Icona Pop. There's 2 of them.
I love them. They're so
yeah,
fun.
they're the best. We've been friends since high school, so they're like my.
Oh, that's so cool. So that's two for one. Right
yes, and Sarah Larson, who's just the most badass.
She's got
girl.
pipes.
Yeah, and she's so cool. I love her. Elephant, who's this really badass indie girl from Sweden as well, and Mö, who's on the Lean On with Major Lazer.
Mo.
Mö, we're saying
Ma. I was like, who's Ma?
but wait, so that's 5. Okay,
So that
we're
would be-
6.
You'll be 6.
We'll be 6 girls. Maybe I'll call it like a Scandi Love or like Nordic Lights. Nordic Lights. I feel like
Ooh.
it's better. Yeah,
I like that.
let's do that.
Nordic
Yeah.
Lights. Maybe now that we just put it out there, at least one song could really happen. She's like,
Oh yes, we're getting into this. I'm gonna force them.
Nordic Lights. That's awesome. You got so much like hometown pride right there, even just putting together your girl group. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Olympics. I kind of have been a little bit spotty on it. But we like to play this game too. Like if you were to give yourself a gold medal in one of these categories, what would it be? Day drinking, social media lurking, or binge eating? Which one do you think you would be more likely to receive a gold medal in?
I think it's probably a little bit of a tie between day drinking and binge eating. But I think
We are soulmates. I am telling you this right now.
maybe more day drinking. A little bit. Yeah.
Totally soulmates.
Usually together, I think those are good.
They kind of do go
if you can
hand in
combine
hand.
them, I'll get double gold. in that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'll take the silver because I was telling you yesterday was my birthday. And we went to Yankee Stadium, and I'm pretty sure I smashed a foot-long hot dog to myself, but it was encouraged because of the couple beers I had first.
Of
you know
course,
how that
yeah.
goes.
Makes it easier if you just, yeah.
Soulmates, I told you. Tove, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
We're super excited about it. Album October 28th, Ladywood. Don't be afraid. Own that. And right now, we're loving your single and everything else. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans that are watching you right now on Facebook Live?
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support through everything these past years, and can't wait for you to hear the new album. I hope you love it, and I'll see you on tour soon.
Oh yeah, tour. When does that kick off?
Well, I go with Maroon 5 now, September 3rd. And after that, I'll be doing my own tour later next year, early next year.
More to come.
I'll be back soon, yeah.
She's not going anywhere.
No.
You can always keep up with your favorite right here at 92.3 AMP Radio. And again, my name is Nina from Shaboy in the Morning. You can always catch up with us too, 5:30 to 10 a.m. weekdays on 92.3. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.